Back in the good old days, I used to play 4 or even 5 colors in Whir Lantern Control. Can I still do that in 2026? I am on the play here in match 1 versus ItsSwiftyTime. This hand doesn't really do all that much, honestly. Like, yeah, I've got the new cards that I'm testing, the Spire of Industry, the Haywire Might. Double Island doesn't really hurt all that bad, but where's my Lantern? Like, where's my consistency? It's kind of just got like a couple situational things, a Pyxis that doesn't do anything. I will turn 2 Thoughtseize the hero, and then I just have nothing going on. I think I can do better than this. I'm going to mulligan. Speaking of better, I kind of have to keep this. I am going to bottom one of the Mox Opals. I really don't want to be going down to 5 here. And I think I will lead on Spire of Industry into Codex Shredder. All right, pass turn. That was really funny. I wasn't a particularly big fan of either of these hands. Just gonna kind of let the hero go off here. All right. Well, I drew another land. I went down to 20 lands and 4 opals in this build. So I was kind of hoping to hit something here, you know? Yeah, they've got their own Urza Saga going. Their constructs are going to be bigger than mine. And they've just got Kappa Cannon here. So that tells me that I don't have anything of interest on the top of my deck. I'm going to mill what they found. Yeah, Darkslick Shores. Get out of here. Now, I hit Portable Hole. I don't know how much I care about Portable Hole. I will go ahead and cast it anyway. And I'm going to boop one of their flyers, I guess. Don't really care about these things. Would have loved to hit the Kappa Cannon here. I had considered putting Duskrow's Reliquary in the deck. Duskrow's Reliquary would have actually worked here, I think. And yeah, I am in trouble. Gonna mill myself because it's mostly free to do. Ugh, jeez. Yeah, I am struggling. Well, I'm going to grab Lantern of Insight here. Like, I could grab, I don't know, like, I guess Haywire Might, but that doesn't even exile creatures. Pithing Needle could save me a little bit of damage from the Urza Saga, but I'm mostly just planning on blocking anyway. I think I am going to find Lantern of Insight, and I am just going to do my best to find an Ensnaring Bridge, because that's just what I need right now. And I guess I hope that they also don't have a Pithing Needle in their main. Well, they just grabbed Mox Opal, huh? That's kind of worrisome. Oh, that's really worrisome. I think I have to let that go. Like, there's not really anything I can do here about it anyway. But I think that there's a very good chance that they just win the game here. Yeah, that's... yeah, I'm struggling. All right, yeah, you got it, you got it, you got it. I needed an Ensnaring Bridge earlier, and I just didn't find one. Like, that 7 that I would have originally kept, I would have Thoughtseized, like, the Pinnacle Emissary, I guess. And then I would have just rolled over to everything else in their hand, and I would have died. The 6 that I kept wasn't particularly strong, but I also really didn't want to go to 5. Maybe I should have gone to 5, because the 6 wasn't particularly strong either. It's hard to say. It's kind of hard to say. I want the Portable Holes in the deck. I want Ensnaring Bridge. I want Haywire Might. I kind of want to make room for this Pithing Needle, but I'm not sure I can. I guess I can remove Grafdigger's Cage and put Pithing Needle in the deck. Do I have room for Welding Jar? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what else I would take out for Welding Jar. I could take out a discard spell, I guess, like an Inquisition of Kozilek. But I don't think that they're really going to have stuff that Welding Jar will care about. So I am just going to run this back like this. Minimal sideboarding here. Just going to do my best to find freaking Ensnaring Bridge here. And this hand does not have Ensnaring Bridge in it. I can Inquisition them. I can Pithing Needle something. I can cast Haywire Might and activate it. And then I just kind of do nothing. I'm going to mulligan. And this is unfortunately a keep. I think I need to bottom one of the Pithing Needles, and that's another Whir of Invention on top of my deck. I kind of didn't want that. I was hoping for a land here mostly. Fiery Islet pass, huh? It's really interesting. I am going to Inquisition them. You didn't play out any of your Mishra's Baubles because they were saving up for weapons manufacturing. They can't get Kappa Cannoneer down until turn 3 anyway. I think I am actually going to take... Do we take the weapons manufacturing out of this? I think I can play around Metallic Rebuke. So yeah, I'm going to take the weapons manufacturing out of this hand. Still stuck on 1 land here. Oh, they are just cracking Mishra's Bauble right away, huh? Okay. So that's Haywire Might into hand, Urza Saga into mine. I have no reason to play into this face-up Metallic Rebuke, so I'm just not going to. That is an Engineered Explosives cast for 1. Mox Opals come down. Haywire Might's down 2. Oh, they're just gonna hit my Urza Saga right here. Yeah. But now Metallic Rebuke is turned off. And that means that I can put Pithing Needle down on something here. And this might just be a little bit too slow from the hero side of things. Like, they can play Kappa Cannoneer here. They can even get a drone for their trouble. I don't know. Not really liking how this game is going. I wish this Urza Saga had been a blue land. I want to cast this Whir of Invention. Do I even play Pyxis here? I don't think I do. I think I need the Construct. That is a warped out Pinnacle Emissary. I'm only taking 7 here. It's not nothing, but it could be worse. I had to draw that Inquisition. I think there are 2 plays that I could make. I could... Need to think about this. If I don't make the Construct, then I could tap Saga for colorless. I could find a Mill Rock. Or honestly, maybe even a Pithing Needle for Fiery Islet. I could Inquisition the hero. I could cast Pyxis, and then hope that there is a blue producing land in the top, like, 3-ish cards of my deck. I think that might be the play. Because if I make a Construct here, then unless I grabbed Mox Opal, I wouldn't be able to cast anything else. Yeah, I don't think I'm making a Construct. I'm gonna have to take a decent chunk of damage from this Kappa Cannoneer, but I can just leave this Construct back to block, and it can block this Pinnacle Emissary. Now the question is, do I grab something like Haywire Might, which is even better at blocking? Do I grab Pithing Needle and put it on Fiery Islet, or do I grab Codex Shredder and really do my best to try and find that 3rd land? Or do I grab the Underworld Cookbook and be weaker to the top of their deck, but be stronger against everything else? I need to do a little bit of math. I need to do some math. So this is currently a 6/6. The hero can... They don't have anything in Warp. They can cast a Pinnacle Emissary, just hard cast. And that would let them put 2 counters on this. They would make another drone. I would fall to 4. I think that is probably reasonable. I think I can manage that. Because then after that, I would need to find another land for a 0-drop of some kind. And then I would fall to 2 on the attack after that. And then I could just cast this other Whir of Invention in hand. The question is, though, do I grab Pithing Needle? Or do I just grab Codex Shredder? They could just warp in Pinnacle Emissary, which would allow them to hold open double Fiery Islet activation. I think... I don't know for sure. I don't know for sure. I think I'm going to grab the Pithing Needle and I'm going to put it on Fiery Islet. I am going to be on the record saying that this is just a really tricky situation to be in, and I don't really like this. But I think that this is just going to have to be the play. I have to take Metallic Rebuke here, and I have to cast Pyxis. The top of my deck is not a blue-producing land, and it has to be a blue-producing land. All right, so they're going to do the thing that they know how to do here. There's not really anything that I can do until the end step anyway, so I may as well just yield, right? I need to get more used to doing that. All right, I've got no profitable blocks here. Or no blocks that I can make at all, actually. Gonna exile with Pyxis. That is a Lantern of Insight on top of my deck. I cannot keep that there. I have to exile again. I need anything that produces blue. A blue Darkslick Shores, another Mox Opal would work, Basic Island. Pyxis not being able to selectively target players is, I'm not gonna lie, it's a problem. And it is one of the reasons that the Shredder versus Pyxis debate is even happening. That is a Whir of Invention on my top of my deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot draw that. I have to shuffle. This needs to be a land. Oh my god, it's a land. All right, so I am just firing this off right now. Whir of Invention, X equals 3, grab Ensnaring Bridge, and I'm pretty sure that the card that they had in hand, like the card on top of their deck, I'm pretty sure that's a dead draw. All right, upkeep. I am firing off this other Whir. I'm gonna find Lantern. There is also an argument for finding Mox Opal here, but I think it has to be Lantern. Like I must draw a land or a 0 here. Where are you, Lantern? Last one in the deck. Okay, well, that is a 0. I am going to evaluate the board and make sure that Arcbound Ravager is okay for them to draw. It is. All right, I'm gonna let them draw the Arcbound Ravager. I'm pretty sure their hand is Arcbound Ravager and Shivan Reef. Although I guess it's just Shivan Reef now, isn't it? Okay, well, I found the line. Let's see if I can get rewarded with a game win here. This lock is extremely tenuous. I don't think I'm going to crack Mishra's Bauble here, because if there is a Thoughtseize on top of my deck, then underneath this Mox Opal, then I just am dead. Oh, Krang Mastermind, huh? Maybe I have to crack Bauble now. And I just have to hope that there's something good underneath this Bauble here. Because, like, I have to get rid of this Krang anyway. And that's second Ensnaring Bridge. I think I will take that. And then on their upkeep, I have to exile that Krang. It just has to go. Looking to get a little bit lucky with what's underneath. Spirebluff Canal, I'll take it. That's fantastic. Okay. Oh, that is a Pithing Needle on top of my deck, huh? I really like that. Let's hope that they crack this Bauble immediately. Okay, that's great. So they did crack the Bauble immediately, which means that I think I am actually going to crack my Bauble here. Like, this is not something that I really should be doing, but I feel like I am in just simply too weak of a position. There's a Saga on top of their deck, and I've got Portable Hole, which I can cast. So I am going to cast that. I'm going to get rid of their Arcbound Ravager. And I think I'm actually going to exile here. Okay. Pithing Needle. I am going to put this on Claws of Gix. Or am I going to put it on Emery? No, I'm not going to put it on Emery. I'm going to put it on Claws of Gix. All right. Yeah. Weapons manufacturing is okay to come down. Kappa Cannoneer on top of their deck. Just going to fire this off right now. I don't have any more time to waste. This is going to get Codex Shredder. All right. And I am going to activate Pyxis because I don't want this Thoughtseize. Engineered Explosives is Pithing Needled. I can let them draw that. I'm going to stop tracking their hand. I'm going to mill myself here. Okay. And now I just need to play extremely fast. This is one of the reasons that you need to get good at the second half of games when you're playing Lantern. Because the first half of games just takes so dang long. But now I'm in an unfortunate position where I have 7 minutes on my clock. I might not have time to win game 3. So I think I am going to have to take some calculated risks here. And I'm going to have to start milling out the hero earlier than I would like to. Also going to remove the stop on their upkeep. Okay, that's fine. And they are playing to their outs here. They know that their out is the clock. Claws of Gix is actually needled, but I'm going to get rid of it anyway. Okay. I am getting Codex Shredder here. Yeah, Codex Shredder. Okay. And I'm going to put this down. Claws of Gix is fine. That's Pithing Needled. Engineered Explosives is Pithing Needle and letting them have that. Okay, and this is their last draw for the game. They did have an Emery in their deck. They did have a Pithing Needle in their deck. Just going to F6 through this. Okay, and that was a really hard win right there. Oof. Having 5 minutes on the clock does not feel comfortable. Being on the play does not feel comfortable. Do I want to make any changes to my list here? I don't think so. I think I'm just going to run it back. This hand is not keepable. I have to mull this. This hand is unfortunately keepable. I am going to keep this, and I'm actually going to bottom one of the baubles here. I need to get better about using my F6 key. Oh, they cast EE on 1, huh? That's disgusting. I hate that. Put my stops back on. I guess I am just going to River of Tears into Inquisition them. Take that Metallic Rebuke out of their hand. Cast this F6. Wow. Yeah, you got it. I'm going to keep Mishra's Bauble around. Another Whir of Invention. Don't like that. Pinnacle Emissary is okay. So they can't actually put EE on a number that I really care about here. All right. River of Tears coming in handy. I am going to Whir for X equals 3, but I am actually going to find Pithing Needle for this. And I'm putting that on Engineered Explosives. I want this Pyxis. And this is going to come down. This is going to grab the Ensnaring Bridge. Okay, I am in decent shape here. I don't believe I'm going to be worrying about this Urza Saga. I don't think I can. They're just making a bunch of drones. They can only attack with these. That's going to put me to 2. Urza Saga is in hand for them. Krang is on top of their deck. I really hate that. That is a Pyxis, a Pandemonium for me. I have to exile this Krang. I just don't want them drawing that. 4-mod script is fine. In fact, I'm going to F6 here. Urza Saga can find Pithing Needle, which I really hate that. But I don't really have many other options here. Okay. I think I am going to Bauble right now. I want this Pyxis. Fire of Industry is fine. And that is a Pithing Needle on top of my deck that can answer the Fiery Islet. They're going to grab Pithing Needle for sure. Oh, they just had Haywire Might. All right, you know what? Never mind. Oh, all right. They just had Haywire Might in the deck. I did see that. No, I did see that. So maybe I should have actually gotten rid of the Urza Saga earlier, but that would have cost me my Lantern of Insight. So I'm not sure. Honestly, I think a decent chunk of the problem with this match is that I took too long in game 1. Usually I have a very strict schedule that I adhere to. You get 25 minutes on your match clock. I want to win games in 10 minutes and lose them in 5. And I did not lose game 1 in 5 minutes. It took me a lot longer. If I had taken less time in game 1, perhaps I could have more quickly thought of a way to answer everything in game 3. I could have taken some time to tank and really find lines like I did in game 2. But I was not smart enough to do that, so I didn't do that. I could see this being a win. I could see this being a match win. But it would have been iffy and weird, and it would have required a strange line. But that is possible to do. That's one of the reasons you play Lantern, is because you win games based off of strange lines. Anyway, let's go ahead and move on to match 2 here. If you're enjoying the video and think you'd like watching more of what I make, please consider subscribing so YouTube can notify you when I go live and upload videos. I appreciate your support. Thank you. I'm on the draw here versus Dire Raven, I guess. This is a weird hand. This is a really weird hand. I'm going to keep it. I'm not sure that I'm going to like it. Riverpire Verge, huh? Into Ragavan? What on earth are you on, friend? Well, I found Glimmervoid. I could Glimmervoid into Opal into Portable Hole on this Ragavan. I don't think I'm going to. I think I am instead going to Inquisition the hero. Snare, Bolt, Exarch, Polluted Delta. I don't care about Snare. I don't care about Bolt. I guess I'm going to take the Exarch. So we are just playing against straight up Twin here. They hit a Mishra's Bauble, which I kind of would have rather had as a draw for my own, especially since it just gives the hero free cards here. Oh, and they are firing that off immediately. That means that I am almost certainly going to be thought seizing them. And then I can drop Pithing Needle on something. Basic Island, not a fantastic pickup. Let's play Urza Saga first. Thought Seize next. They might just counterspell this. Nope. I'll take the Force of Negation. Spell Snare, Lightning Bolt, Flooded Strand. And now I think I might have to skill shot this Pithing Needle. They have a Flooded Strand in hand. There is a non-zero chance that I just named that. I don't know how useful that is, though. They've had Flooded Strand, but they've also had Polluted Delta. What do I think that they're going to be on? They have Deceiver Exarchs for sure. Pestermites are less certain. They might have something like a Fear of Missing Out. Although I'm not sure that they're actually going that big or that deep into the graveyard here. Naming Deceiver Exarch just kind of feels less than ideal. I'm tempted to name something like Narset Parter of Veils. In fact, not knowing what they have makes me think I'm going to name that. I haven't seen any proof of anything white here, and I don't think that it's correct to name Deceiver Exarch when they are so far away from Twin. And naming the Flooded Strand is tempting, but I don't think that's correct either. Ooh, they got the Underworld Cookbook. How do I feel about that? I don't know. They are casting it. Okay, so I am going to... Ooh, I found Pyxis of Pandemonium. Honestly, I don't think I'm mad about that Pyxis draw. I think I am going to play that. I just took Force of Negation out of their hand. I'm kind of hoping they don't have another one. My entire deck dodges Spell Snare. Like, I don't think I have a 2-drop in the deck at all, actually. I have a couple of 2-drops in the sideboard. Uh-oh. Don't tell me I'm getting Cryptic Commanded. Maybe I should have played out the Glimmer Void. Played this Pyxis off River of Tears. Kept Portable Hole as a backup. That might have been a little bit smarter. Flame of Anor on my Mox Opal here. Yeah, I'm gonna let that go. I should have played out the Glimmer Void, and I should have done that. That would have let me boot the Ragavan. Kind of a waste of a Flame of Anor, if you ask me, though. All right, they hit a land off of Ragavan. That's good for me. They've got one unknown card in hand, and this is going to let them trade Lightning Bolt with a Construct. I think I'm okay with that. Yep, you need red for that. There you go. One unknown card in hand on the hero side. Lantern of Insight is in play. Yeah, Snapcaster Mage. This is just good old blue-red shenanigans. I am going to P-hole this Ragavan right now. Yeah, I definitely made a mistake with the whole Glimmer Void thing. I don't believe I made a mistake by playing Pyxis first instead of making the Construct first. I could have made a mistake by doing that. That's possible. That's entirely possible. That is a Deceiver Exarch as their last card in hand. They're just going to tap my Pyxis? Yeah, they're tapping my Pyxis. I was going to be exiling that Snapcaster Mage anyway. Oof, that is a counter spell on their side. I'm going to let them have that. The fact of the matter is I'm not taking that much damage that quickly, and I don't really need to be playing into their counter spells. I think I will play this Ensnaring Bridge anyway, though. I say I don't need to play into their counter spells, and then I play into their counter spells. I'm going to put the Darkslick Shores into play. And now we are playing some real 2015 Modern here. I think it's more important that they don't get Flame of Anor than that I get this Whir of Invention, so I am going to take that. Oh, geez. I do want this Thoughtseize, I think. Ooh, that was an Urza Saga on top of their deck, or on top of my deck. Well, I should have exiled with Pyxis earlier. All right, Basic Mountain on top of their deck here. I am just going to fire off this Thoughtseize now. I need to get that counterspell out of their hand anyway. I don't want this Darkslick Shores on top of my deck. I don't want the Tamiyo on top of theirs. And Sink into Stupor, I am going to have to deal with that. Jeez, that Urza Saga would have been really nice. I couldn't afford for them to have the Flame of Anor. I think, unfortunately, I need to draw this Thoughtseize. And, of course, there's an Inquisition of Kozilek right underneath of it. I'm just going to do this now. Down to 4 life. There's still a chance that I can win here. I don't think it involves them having access to Ragavan. Okay, that is an island on top of their deck. That's very good for me. And a Splinter Twin, huh? Well, that Splinter Twin is just a game, so I am going to exile that with Pyxis. Maybe I should have chosen Deceiver Exarch off of that Pithing Needle, huh? Oh, thank goodness. Urza Saga. The shame I don't have access to my Underworld Cookbook. I would have loved that. All right, I am going to play this Saga out. I have to take this Lightning Bolt. That's just lethal. And I have to hope that between what's underneath of that and the shuffle here, that they've just got nothing. Yikes. That Thundertrap Trainer is not nothing. I'm going to let them surveil. I have to take that. That was just like a forced Lantern Shuffle there. Uh-oh, they found something. No way! Splinter Twin on Deceiver Exarch. Wow. I mean, I believe I did everything in my power in this game. I think the only mistake that I did was, honestly, the Pithing Needle name. I could have named Deceiver Exarch, but I was thinking to myself, like, man, they were so far away from Splinter Twin. They probably might not even draw another Deceiver Exarch anyway. I needed to get Pithing Needle down so that I could make my construct math work out. So perhaps I was a little bit too aggressive with this Pithing Needle. And honestly, maybe I should have needled the card that I saw versus the card that I didn't. I could see that. Let's go ahead and move on to game 2 here. All right, I think I am taking out the portable holes. Portable holes just don't seem fantastic. Haywire Might is interesting. This could answer a Splinter Twin at instant speed, but I'm not convinced I actually want to do that. I could bring in Curse Totem as an answer to Splinter Twin instead. I'm not convinced I want to do that. What do I want? I kind of want these Narsets. Grafdigger's Cage shuts off Snapcaster Mage, which I really enjoy. Oh, you know what I could do? Torpor Orb. And then I could take the Grafdigger's Cage out of the deck. That seems a bit silly, though. Maybe I keep Grafdigger's Cage in, and I take out, like, a Pithing Needle. The Torpor Orb shuts off what? Thundertrap Trainer, Deceiver Exarch, Snapcaster Mage. Every creature that I've seen except Ragavan, Torpor Orb shuts off. It also just shuts off the Splinter Twin loop. So I think I am going to go ahead and do it like this. I would like to be on the play. Thank you for asking. Honestly, with this hand, I am going to keep this. There's no discard in this hand, but Narset is a very strong card. Grafdigger's Cage shuts off Snapcaster Mage, which isn't the greatest. But, you know, the Narset plus Whir, I think, is going to carry the hand. All right, I kind of just dumped out my hand here. Pyxis into Opal. I don't know if I needed to do anything else. That's a turn 1 Ragavan. Oh, who could have guessed? Basic Island, honestly, I'm not mad about. I will just go ahead and drop this Grafdigger's Cage. And then next turn, I can either cast Narset or cast Whir of Invention. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be Whir of Invention just because of the instant speed of it. Oh, Soporific Springs as a land. Love to see that. Oh, and they hit their own Pyxis. It's almost certainly correct for the hero to cast this. Yeah, see, there they go. They know what they're doing. Well, they did just tap out. So maybe I will Narset here, honestly. I'm going to just look for a card here. And I found more things. Honestly, I think I take Ensnaring Bridge. Although I could just take Whir of Invention, and that would be basically as good as Ensnaring Bridge, except a lot more flexible. Now what, friendo? Are you going to attack Narset with Ragavan and miss out on your additional card that you get out of my deck? What if you just hit Lantern of Insight off of Ragavan, and then you're playing Lantern Control now? Honestly, a Lantern Control list that also gets to play stuff like Ragavan and Tamiyo, and maybe not Twin, but you know. Yeah, could be a thing. Just straight up Meltdown, huh? Yeah, that gets rid of my Glimmer Void. That gets rid of my Glimmer Void. Glimmer Void is really good until it isn't. And Ragavan's just going to face here. Hit a basic island, which I actually would have really loved to have. Lightning Bolting Narset, that's fair. Oh, and I hit Lantern. Yeah, I guess I will cast that. Oh, geez. I'm not sure what to do here. I might just have to take the hit from the Thoughtseize. Yeah, they're just going straight to combat. All they had to do was play like a small number of cards, and I'm already struggling. I think I'm gonna let the Thoughtseize go. Another Thoughtseize, you gotta be kidding me. Oh boy. Yep, you can have one of my 2 Whirs. Well, I am gonna Thoughtseize them right back. Not that it matters. Because Tamiyo's just created so many clues, it's ridiculous. Yeah, that Meltdown hurt. Not gonna lie, that Meltdown really hurt. All right, so the hero just drew 2 cards, blew up my Lightning Bolt, my Mox Opal. Like, I think I'm just kind of dead here. I'm gonna Thoughtseize them just because that's really the only thing I can do here. Yeah, Snapcaster, Ragavan, Lightning Bolt, Island, you got it. I am pretty comfortable with conceding at this point. I'm losing my Underworld Cookbook again. That Meltdown, that just hurts so badly. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and concede the game. Like, I don't really think that this needs to be played out. Like, y'all understand that the game is just lost at this point, right? Like, I got meltdowned. They had the Flame of Anor that was the draw 2 blowing up my Opal. Like, I was way too far behind, and there was just not much that I could have done. I could see keeping a different hand, potentially, but really it was just the lack of discard and them just being able to fire off Meltdown whenever the heck they wanted. All right, well, arguably some pilot error, making this a little bit harder. Like, it is a different version of Lantern. I'm having to get used to it. But you know, that's why we play games, right? For the practice. On to match 3. Did losing to my prison deck leave you feeling bitter and despondent? Work through the stages of your grief with a membership to Fate Seal Magic on Patreon, YouTube, or Twitch. As your grief matures, you'll gain perks like early video access, lessons and sideboard guides, featuring your deck in a video, and can even co-host a stream once you reach acceptance. I hope to see you on your path to healing. I'm on the draw in match 3 versus Nani. I can't keep this. This hand does nothing. Get this hand out of my hand. This hand also does nothing. I'm mulliganing again. This hand also... What is going on today? These hands are garbage. They are just straight garbage. I mean, I'm going to keep it. I'm going to bottom an Opal and... I don't know, Grafdigger's Cage? Just going to 5, straight to 5. Like, none of those hands did anything. Like, your plan was going to be what? You maybe cast a discard spell and then you just have 4 lands in your hand? None of your other cards are relevant? Well, at least I found Inquisition of Kozilek number 2, right? Because that's what I needed out of this hand. Oh, and we're playing against Dredge. Lovely. So I could take the Stinkweed Imp and then just do the hero a favor. I'm definitely taking the Artist Talent. And honestly, I think I'm cycling this Mishra's Bauble. I shouldn't have cycled it like that. Okay, they got Manamorphose in their deck. Yeah, I should have waited till their upkeep. Is Pithing Needle applicable at all? I guess I could put it on Boseiju. Oh, I found Ensnaring Bridge. All right, maybe it's not nothing then. Manamorphose. Then they've got Life from the Loam, Stinkweed Imp in their hand. Although maybe I just put this on Artist Talent and then I worry about Boseiju later. I was really hoping that they would have just fired off a Life from the Loam or something on that last turn, but they didn't do that. All right, so this Life from the Loam is going to pick up Scalding Tarn. Just tapped Blood Crypt, huh? All right. Well, I hit Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, I hit 2 Ensnaring Bridges, so I am going to cast them. They're loaming here, or Stinkweed Imping, dredging, that's the word. Okay, well, I'm insulated against Arclight Phoenix. I kind of like this new build of Dredge. Like, it's got the Artist Talents in it. The Lava Darts give it a little bit of additional reach. The Arclight Phoenixes really help out. Just really cool, I think. In fact, I'm going to call this Zoomer Dredge. Oh, they've got Conflagrate in their graveyard too, huh? Don't really like that. I'm going to need a Grafdigger's Cage sooner than later. Wow, and Flame Jab. Yeah, Flame Jab. Wow, that is wild. So there's no shortage of spells to cast from their graveyard in this list. That's just dang. Okay, so Urza Saga will eventually find a Grafdigger's Cage. And I guess I just need to hope that I survive until then. Honestly, I'm not even 100% sure what they have in hand right now. All right, so Stinkweed Imp. They've got to have a Boseiju in here somewhere, right? If they do have Boseiju in here somewhere, then they haven't hit it yet. And I'm pretty sure I've made a mistake with at least 1 card in their hand. This stuff, like the names of the cards and the pictures, those are not automatically tracked. That is all manual. Life from the Loam, Snow-Covered Mountain, Stomping Ground, Snow-Covered Mountain. Getting rid of the Life from the Loam. And I'm somehow just at 8 right now. Urza Saga is down. And they've got the Flame Jab. I think they're getting very close. In fact, they might actually be there to just conflagrating me for maximum here. And then the Flame Jab in the graveyard might actually kill me. Oh wait, no, they have Lava Dart. Okay, so I am dead here. Let's just see if they can piece it together. Yeah, it looks like they're piecing it together. With 8 cards left in their deck. This is how you play Magic. Love that. Lava Dart to kill me off. So that game, I kind of just didn't do anything and I died. That's what happens when you mulligan to 5. So, playing against Zoomer Dredge, unfortunately, I did get rid of the Soul Guide Lantern out of the sideboard. I would have really loved that. But I do have this lovely Soulless Jailer. And honestly, Harbinger of the Seas isn't the worst. I could see Harbinger coming in. Portable Holes are just super terrible. Haywire Might can get rid of a Resolved Artist talent. Grafdigger's Cage is mandatory. Pithing Needle needs to be put on Boseiju. I don't think I saw a Boseiju that entire time, but that doesn't mean they don't have them, especially after sideboard. So perhaps instead of bringing in Harbinger of the Seas, I bring in Soulless Jailer and Welding Jar. I think I am going to try that. I don't know if this is going to work, but I am going to try it. I could have seen an argument for cutting down on discard, since this matchup is more about making yourself kind of like invulnerable to what they're doing, as opposed to, geez, really? 24 mana sources in the deck. I shouldn't have complained. Oh my god, I should not have complained. What is going on today? What are these hands? All right, you know what? I have to keep it. I'm gonna bottom the Lantern, and I'm gonna bottom the Thoughtseize, and I'm gonna roll with it. What is going on today? Okay, so we've got Lightning Bolts, Faithless Looting, Life from the Loam as hits for this Inquisition. I think I'm gonna take the Looting. This is at least gonna slow them down. Bloodstained Mire is their play for turn. Okay, well, at least I don't have to commit my Glimmer Void quite yet. This Pithing Needle is certainly going to name Boseiju, I think. Oh, free Surveil, Stinkweed Imp, great. And now I am pretty dang desperate for a Whir of Invention, perhaps a Urza Saga that I can use to grab Grafdigger's Cage. Like Collector Oof, I'm not super worried about. Ancient Grudge, I am. So I need to find something sooner rather than later. Looks like they're just going to hold open Ancient Grudge. I don't blame them. And now I'm in a really awkward position where this Glimmer Void is making it so that if I just play out Glimmer Void and don't cast Ensnaring Bridge, so that I can dodge Ancient Grudge on Ensnaring Bridge, then they blow up my Pithing Needle and I lose Needle and Glimmer Void. But if I play out Ensnaring Bridge off of the Glimmer Void, I get to keep Glimmer Void, but I lose Ensnaring Bridge to Ancient Grudge. And it's just like, what do I even do here? I think the hero's deciding if they want to blow up my Pithing Needle or not. Okay, I found Whir of Invention. I am going to play the Glimmer Void. And I think it has to happen in response to the Ancient Grudge. Yeah, here we go. So this Whir of Invention is going to find Grafdigger's Cage. Basically, their entire graveyard is shut off right now, but if they just have Boseiju, then I am cooked. Okay, Bloodstained Mire, Wooded Foothills, Scalding Tarn. All right, I am just barely holding on for dear life here. Grafdigger's Cage and Ensnaring Bridge together shut off a decent chunk of their deck. And honestly, at this point, I'm not convinced that they should be dredging. Okay, well, that's just game. They were dredging because they already had the answer in hand. Sure. All right, well, that was just another miserable Mold of 5 into doing the best that I could into just dying. That's fine. I feel like I had very little agency this game, and it was mostly just because of the mulligans. Ugh. Doesn't make it any less frustrating, though. Let's try and move on to match 4, see if I can do any better. So I'm on the draw here in match 4 again versus Homer Simpson. And the deck just continues to deliver me just absolutely terrible hands. Do I keep this off the strength of Urza's Saga and, Urza's Saga? Double Glimmer Void into Spire of Industry is just, it's just horrible. I get a single, Surveil-ish off of the Mishra's Bauble. I get, 4 looks before I have to commit to a turn 2. Underworld Cookbook makes Urza's Saga tokens bigger. You know what? Screw it. I'm keeping it. I don't know if this is a keepable hand. Oh boy, Soporific Springs. Okay, so we are playing against Affinity. This is probably going to be a Saga on 1 game. Yeah, look at that, Emery. Oh boy. Engineered Explosives, Kappa Cannoneer, Shadow Spear, and Mishra's Bauble hit off of that. And I drew Dark Slick Shores. This game. This deck does not want me to succeed. Do y'all enjoy me just getting progressively more tilted as these sorts of games progress? And yeah, the hero knows what's up. They've got engineered explosives that they're casting out of the graveyard with Emery, which is going to give me even more problems. And I'm just already just on the back foot. Yeah, this is EE on 1. Nah, don't tell me they just have Kappa here. Okay, tapping my Pyxis. That means it is time to use Mishra's Bauble. That's Ensnaring Bridge. Yeah, Ensnaring Bridge is a lovely card. I would love to have that. It's a shame that I have to deal with this EE Emery loop right now. Maybe I'll find an answer to it underneath this Ensnaring Bridge, or maybe I'll just find Mox Opal. Oh, geez Louise, what is going on? Well, I am going to play out my Darkslick Shores. I'm going to cast Underworld Cookbook, and I'll at least be able to get one construct out of this Urza Saga. Assuming the hero doesn't just pop EE and ruin my day, which is entirely possible. I mean, they can just untap and have the mana to do that. They can pop EE, ruin my day, and then just immediately recast EE on 1. Or they can wait and recast EE on 3. This is really difficult. It doesn't help that I drew this Darkslick Shores, of course, but like the hand that I kept was kind of sketchy, honestly. Like, it wasn't the greatest hand. I think I am just going to discard a freaking Glimmer Void to this cookbook here. And here they go. Now they're popping explosives. That is okay. Maybe I should have ate the food token. Didn't think about that. It's another land, I swear. What is going on? Tap Urza Saga. I'm going to grab Grafdigger's Cage here. That will turn off all of the Emery stuff. Their Engineered Explosives is already in the yard. Darkslick Shores. Now I can cast this Ensnaring Bridge directly into a Metallic Rebuke. Yeah, that's fair. I was so busy getting tilted by all the lands that I've drawn that I just didn't even play around Metallic Rebuke. Although I'm not convinced that I really could have. And now, quote unquote, the hero has nothing going on, but we all know that Affinity can just rebuild out of nowhere. They've got 3 cards in hand. They can do something with these 3 cards, right? Oh, that's just EE on 0, huh? That's fine. They just want to land Kappa Cannoneer. I guess I'm going to be okay with that. Told you, 3 cards in hand. They got something to do with them. Oh, and I just top deck Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. Okay. So I am getting somewhere then. Emery is shut off. Attacks are shut off. Well, almost all of the attacks are shut off. Then they've got the Arcbound Ravager, which is a real problem. I mean, the deck is continuing to just serve me Ensnaring Bridges on a silver platter. I'm going to keep casting them. I'm just going to pop the food now. And then I'm going to get my F6 equity out. Urza Saga is terrible for me. Krang is terrible for me. That's just 4 fresh cards for them. And now they kind of just get to do whatever the heck they want, right? I've got nothing going on. I'm just hiding behind these 2 Ensnaring Bridges. And I've been able to establish 0 draw control this game. I kept a bad hand. Honestly, I think I just kept a bad hand. I should have just mulliganed it. Yep, that's a lot of 0 drops. Mishra's Bauble, I do not believe I can afford to pop this. Because if there is like 2 lands in a row on top of my deck, which, as we've seen, this game is actually entirely possible, then I'm in trouble. Gonna create my own construct here just because I can. We'll see what they grab. Haywire Might would be real big trouble, but if they had Haywire Might, then I don't think they would be tapping their Mox Opal. All right, so that means next up is what? Just another Mishra's Bauble? Okay, fine. I will do this here, but what do I grab? Like, genuinely, what do I grab? I feel like if the hero had a way to break through this, then they would have done it already. I have in my deck 4 Whir of Inventions, 3 Pyxides, 2 Codex Shredders, and everything else is basically just dead, so I'm drawing to 9 outs if I decide to get Lantern of Insight. Oh yeah, and Lanky, you're right. They can't fetch Might off of Urza Saga if I have Grafdigger's Cage in play. That's a good point. That's a good point. Which means I also cannot fetch Haywire Might. I think it's just Lantern. I think I just have to grab Lantern here. Hey, Thoughtseize. honestly genuinely love to see Thoughtseize. That is enough for me to want to pop a Mishra's Bauble. I'm going to do that now. So they've got Pinnacle Emissary and Kappa Cannoneer. All right. EE on top of their deck is just terrible. Well, at least they're using their Fiery Islet now. So I am going to make them shuffle. I cannot deal with an Engineered Explosives right now. I can't deal with it. They would just put the EE on 3, blow up all my stuff. No, don't tell. Okay, it's just Kappa Cannoneer. All right, well, I'm drawing Thoughtseize for sure. I don't know what's underneath of it. A land. Okay, sure. Well, I need to get this Thoughtseize out of my hand or else I die. Pinnacle Emissary, Emery, Pinnacle Emissary, Mox Opal. I guess, does it really matter? So I am going to F6 here. And now it's just 2 draws out of this first. And they are really trying to draw out of this. Okay, I found another Lantern. I am going to cast another Lantern. Claws of Gix is fine. I feel like if they had a Weapons Manufacturing as their unknown card in hand, then they would have cast it last turn. Please just give me a break. Okay, that is a break. That is certainly a break. I will cycle this Mishra's Bauble now. This gives me a little bit of hope. I just need a Millrock now. Lantern of Insight, Basic Island. Ensnaring Bridge, number 4. At least Lantern is a little bit of protection. Portable Hole is not nothing. What would I be hitting with that? Probably the Arcbound Ravager, honestly. That Fiery Islet is not great for me. Oh, Whir of Invention on top of my deck. Oh, I love that. Okay, so Fiery Islet is a problem, I'm not gonna lie. But it is a problem that I can hopefully play around with the double Lantern. And now I can actually afford to play around this Sink into Stupor, I think. Let me think about this. I'm going to draw the Whir of Invention. Oh, there is a Pyxis of Pandemonium on top of my deck. Let me take a look. They've got 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's it. Just 3 drones. Grafdigger's Cage leaving play could be a problem. I am going to wait and see what happens. I'm going to be very careful here. Do they cycle their Fiery Islet or not? They did not. If they bounce Grafdigger's Cage, then I could, in response, Whir for 1 and find Pithing Needle, right? Because I still have Pithing Needle somewhere. I don't have anything exiled. Yeah, I've got Pithing Needle still. I'm going to let them have the Sink into Stupor. I think that Grafdigger's Cage is my big thing here. Like, that's the thing that I don't really want them to bounce. It would be tempting for them to bounce this Portable Hole, get their Arcbound Ravager back into play. Now, here's the question. Do I just have to Whir for Pithing Needle here? What else do they have in their graveyard that I would be worried about? Honestly, I could just put Pithing Needle on Engineered Explosives, and that would shut off what? It would shut off EE. That would mean that they could convert Emery into a cycle before I got Grafdigger's Cage down again. I am going to Whir for 3 here. Or I'll Whir for 3. I'll Whir for 4. Grabbing Haywire Might is a very bad and silly idea. Pithing Needle is a very bad and silly idea. Portable Hole doesn't do anything. Oh, wait, no. Pithing Needle's not the bad and silly idea. I am going to get Pithing Needle. Now, I could just name Emery and be done with it, but I think instead I am going to name Engineered Explosives and shut that off as an out. Kind of hoping that they were going to go for the Arcbound Ravager Portable Hole here. I did have to shuffle away that Pyxis off the top of my deck. I would have loved to keep that. Oh, they just didn't use Emery. Yeah, that's fine. Now I've got Urza Saga on top of my deck. My Urza Saga is going to be significantly more impactful than theirs. They've had 1, 2, 3... All of their Mishra's Baubles are gone, actually. Yeah. This Urza Saga is dead for them. I think I might be able to win this game. With Whir of Invention on top of my deck, that is almost certainly a win. Kappa Cannoneer, huh? Well, I'm glad I named Engineered Explosives with that Pithing Needle. That was a really heads-up play there. All right, they conceded. Oh, found the line, 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 found the line. Oh, man, finding lines. That's why you play this deck. I love finding lines. Wow. I did get a little bit lucky there, not gonna lie. Playing to my outs of having just additional ways to tutor things. And I didn't have 9 outs. I had 13 outs. Or 12 outs, I guess, because I forgot that Urza Saga was an out. And 12 outs out of, like, I don't know, 36-ish cards, that's not nothing. That's not nothing. All right. Jeez. I don't think that I'm going to be bringing in Void Mirror. This will theoretically shut off all of their zeros, but only if I can get it into play turn 1, which I cannot consistently do. And that's only if I'm on the play, and I'm not even on the play. And that is shutting off all their zeros. That's not shutting off things like Sink into Stupor, Emery, Engineered Explosives, stuff that I really care about. So I'm not bringing this in. What did I do last time? It was bringing in Welding Jar and Pithing Needle. And I took out the 2 portable holes. I think that's what I did. Yeah, because I want Haywire Might. I want Cookbook. Grafdigger's Cage, I could see cutting. I'm not convinced that I want to, especially against this variant of Affinity that just has main board Emerys. I kind of just want to do it like this. Maybe taking out both portable holes was a mistake. I don't know. We'll find out together. Okay, I am on the draw here in game 2. I've got this hand. This is a really interesting hand. If I hit pretty decently off this Mishra's Bauble, then I am, well, hitting pretty decently off of Mishra's Bauble, and I would be able to cast like a turn 2 Whir of Invention. But if I don't hit off of Mishra's Bauble, then I'm kind of sad. I think I am going to keep this. Inquisition is decent in this matchup. It can take a Sink into Stupor. It can take, well, it would take a Pinnacle Emissary if I was on the draw. How crazy are we getting with this Pinnacle Emissary here? Let's find out. This is going to be a Mox Opal into a Kappa Cannoneer. Oh, thank goodness it wasn't. All right. They are going to see what I'm drawing. It's a Mishra's Bauble. I am going to just Inquisition them, and I'm going to make decisions after that. Consign, Weapons Manufacturing, Engineered Explosives, Pranged Mastermind. Wow, that is, that is really interesting. If I take Consign to Memory, then they have Weapons into EE as just the next thing that they can do. They can cycle the Mishra's Bauble and more than likely hit something that produces mana in the next couple of draws. But Weapons into EE, I am already worried about EE. What I could do is I could take the EE, I could leave them with Weapons Manufacturing and Consign, and then hope that they do hit the land. And if they do hit the land, then they'll cast Weapons Manufacturing, and I'll have an opening to get things in underneath Consign. Whatever the case, I believe that taking Consign to Memory is probably incorrect. There's a chance that I just take the Engineered Explosives, but then they also have Krang, right? So I think I'm just going to take the Weapons Manufacturing, but then I would have to find an answer for EE, but I have Welding Jar in hand. I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to try and slow them down. I am going to try and slow them down. And now I am going to do the Affinity thing where I just cast all of my zeros. And I am actually going to be a very patient little nerd. They're cycling here as I expected. Do they hit the land or the Mox Opal? Or are they just going to be sad and holding open Consign to Memory? Looks like they're going to be sad. Oh no, they hit. But do they hold open the Consign to Memory anyway? That is an Engineered Explosives on 1. Oh, but this is Pithing Needle. Well, I kind of want the Pithing Needle, so I am going to draw that. That's another Pyxis. See if I can just cast this. So I intentionally didn't exile on their end step, even though I knew that they were able to see what I was drawing. Felt it was more important to give myself flexibility with the Pyxis. Oh, it's just another Engineered Explosives, huh? That's not great for me, actually. They can blow up one of these EEs, but it would come at the cost of tapping out of Consign. Ooh, that is a Whir of Invention. And this River of Tears is actually causing trouble. I am going to play the River of Tears. I actually might bait them with Pithing Needle. I'm going to try that. Okay, that is a replicated Consign to Memory. Okay, so now I'm going to cast this Mox Opal. I'm going to keep it. Oh, but I played River of Tears. I should have done that differently. Dang it. Now I actually kind of am in trouble because of River of Tears specifically. Yeah, I missequenced that. I should have used River of Tears to cast the Pithing Needle, and then I should have floated blue off of one of the Mox Opals and then played the other one. That was a missequence on my part. I could have had Pithing Needle in play right now, although I'm not convinced that I actually want Pithing Needle in play. They've got double engineered explosives right now. Both of them are on 1. Like, they actually don't really have much of a way to deal with a resolved Ensnaring Bridge right now. And I might just want to do that, especially if they just tap out for Krang here. If they hit like a 0 or a land or something. My opponent kind of just did nothing for like 5 minutes and timed out. You take your wins where you can get them. It sucks that there's no more game to be played. Because like there was some back and forth that we could have probably still done over this. Like, I would have had to dodge their Krang Mastermind, and, you know, a couple of more things were gonna happen. It was still pretty interesting. But, you know, when you're playing Magic Online and your opponent just times out, you take those wins. On to the 5th and final match. I am on the draw again, actually, in the 5th and final match versus Yowie. I'm gonna say that it's versus Yowie. Do I keep this hand? 2 Whirs is a lot of Whirs. The hand doesn't really do anything beyond cast Whir on turn 4 because of the Urza Saga. I feel like this is a mulligan. It doesn't have discard in it. I'm gonna mulligan this. I'm gonna mulligan it. All right, this is a better hand. I will keep this. I'm gonna bottom one of the Pithing Needles. This hand doesn't have any Whir of Inventions in it, but honestly, with Urza Saga, you don't necessarily want that anyway. All right, we've got a Flooded Strand into a Sacred Foundry, Shocked In, and a Ragavan. So Flooded Strand, Sacred Foundry, Ragavan are played by both Boros Energy and Jeskai Blink, but I am more inclined to think that this is Blink for some reason. I am actually not going to do any crazy things. I'm just going to play my Pyxis and I'm going to pass turn. But my guess based off these 3 cards is that this is Jeskai Blink. A little bit odd that they got Sacred Foundry, but if you look at Jeskai Blink lists lately, like, they have moved away from blue pretty hard, and they're playing a lot of red. Casey Jones Vigilante did a real thing here. Did a real thing. Doesn't matter if I exile with Pyxis, with this Ragavan attacks or whatever. Let's just hope that they don't hit a discard spell or a Pithing Needle or something, or an Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, Lord. Well, you can cast Ensnaring Bridge if you want to, if you've got a land in play. Come on, take your turn off. Cast Ensnaring Bridge. Doesn't even cost you a card. Okay, Arena of Glory. This is almost certainly going to be energy. This is definitely energy. Yeah, that first hand would have done nothing. Now, please, no land. All right, Mox Opal I can live with. Just barely. Do I want to put Mox Opal into play? I mean, I want to do that. But do I want to blind name with Pithing Needle? Like, I can name Ajani Nakatl Avenger here, and that means that the Inquisition is not going to cost me life? Okay. That's not a terrible play. Yeah, no kidding, Ryu. That bridge would have been really nice. I wish that I had been able to keep that on hand. Oh my god, I just hit Flage. Oh, that is the only card that they had in their hand. That means that they can cast Flage next turn, but not paste it in. Oh, wait, no. They don't have enough stuff in their graveyard. Okay. All right, so that did just save me a little bit of life. I am going to take a nice chunk of damage here. This is going to put me down to 12. They hit a Thoughtseize. Hey, cast that Thoughtseize, please. You never know what I might have in my hand. Yeah! Oh, I've never been so happy to be Thoughtseized by a Ragavan. All right, Elegant Parlor is coming down. They are going to Surveil. It's probably correct for them to put literally anything into the graveyard here. Lantern of Insight, you don't say. That was a heck of a rip there. And Whir of Invention on top of my deck, where Ragavan Nimble Pilfer can hit it, except I can block Ragavan because I can create a construct because of this Mox Opal. I hate to say it, but unless this third card that they have in their hand here is something really, really, really good, then I think I have this game under control now. And they are just swinging in with everything. They don't even have the energy necessary to make Ragavan fly. I'm gonna let this God of Souls trigger happen. I am going to create my construct now. Oh, we're getting to blocks. Yeah, I'm going to block your Ragavan and I'm just gonna eat it. Okay, so now I'm at 8 life. I don't know what their last card in hand is. I am gonna float off this Urza Saga. Honestly, I'm going to get another Pyxis. I can do like dupe, 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 1, 2, 3. If they have a mana tithe in hand, I want to play around that. So I think I am just going to do this now. 1, 2, 3. Cast Whir of Invention. Hang the triple blue, and I'm going to tap here. Use my floating mana. Tap my Lantern of Insight. And this will play around Mana Tithe. I have been noticing that a couple of these lists have had Mana Tithe in their decks. Ensnaring Bridge. Okay. They have a Ajani Nakata Pariah on top of their deck. I have a blocker if I need it, but I don't think I will. They can fetch with their Windswept Heath if they want to. Looks like they didn't. And unless that card in hand, that one that I don't know about, unless that's really good, then this is a game win. We're going to have to see what that last card is, though. Just casting cards that I know about. I mean, I've got Pithing Needle on a Ajani Nakata Avenger here. I'm going to always yield to that. Always yield to this. Always yield to that. I certainly hope that this wasn't their plan. This last card in hand has to be their plan. If that last card is something like a Galvanic Discharge, then they can cast Flage, kill Flage, recast Flage later, and then I would be at 1, which is not good enough. This appears to be just a Flage cast. We're going to have to see. Yeah, that's just Flage out of the yard. I am going to just play this Haywire Mite. Whir of Invention is castable without hurting myself. Oh, but now I face a really interesting decision. Do I exile the Seasoned Pyromancer? I think I have to. Galvanic Discharge. I will allow them to have that discharge. Ooh, Codex Shredder on top of my deck. That's not nothing, but I need to get rid of that Ranger Captain of Eos. That can legitimately just like lose the game for me. So unfortunately, it's got to go. Both of them. All right, this is fine. Okay, they just conceded. That's fantastic. So what do I not want in this list? Haywire Mite doesn't seem particularly strong. I want both Pithing Needles, and I have been historically siding out Grafdigger's Cages. I kind of want the Portable Holes. Portable Holes answers a lot of stuff. What do I want to bring in? Honestly, maybe I didn't think about this mapping super well because Portable Hole kind of fills the role of this Blood Chief's Thirst, doesn't it? I could bring in Welding Jar, and then what? First Totem's not great. Soulless Jailer's not great. Torpor Orb is an option. Do I want Torpor Orb over something like Blood Chief's Thirst? Do I want Grafdigger's Cage as a tutor target? Do I want to keep Haywire Mite in as a blocker? Huh. I might not have room for these Blood Chief's Thirst. That's really interesting. I didn't think that was going to be the case. Well, I'm running out of time. I am going to sideboard extremely lightly. This is basically everything that I could want in a hand. I am going to keep it. It needs a discard spell. But Yusri is mulliganing to 6 here. All right, hero went Sacred Foundry, Ocelot Pride. I am going to go Spire of Industry, Pyxis. I could have led on the Underworld Cookbook. I kind of want to get this Portable Hole down. I could have led on turn 1 Urza Saga. I don't know if that is correct in this situation. Like, I kind of want my lands, you know? The hero's just kind of tapping out for stuff. Yeah, that's a Goblin Bombardment. Oh, that's Thoughtseize. I think Thoughtseize is a next turn problem. Urza Saga's coming down now. I could do something like Cookbook Thoughtseize. I could Cookbook Portable Hole. If I were to Portable Hole, what would I want to hit? Hitting Ocelot Pride would take the immediate pressure off, but Goblin Bombardment needs to be answered. I hate to say it, but I think I need to hope that they don't have another Goblin Bombardment, and I need to just hit the Bombardment. I am going to cast the Underworld Cookbook here, because I think it would be important to get that down as soon as possible. And then I am going to Portable Hole, and this will hit Bombardment. The constructs that I make next turn, or conditionally make next turn, can answer the Ocelot Pride. And this is just kind of the control heuristic of playing the matching game, where you are trying to line up cards that you have control over versus cards that the hero has control over. And you're just trying to make sure that the whole like lining things up works. Like I lined this up with this, I lined this up with this, I lined Thoughtseize up with this card in their hand, I lined up Ensnaring Bridge with some of these. It really is kind of just like one big matching game. And that is actually something that I will go to in more detail once I release lesson 4 on Lantern Control about using discard. It's taking me a little bit to get the script out of the way. Forgive me, I am doing a lot of work. But I will get it out. Wow, I'm kind of feeling the loss of Mox Opal. Like I'm thinking to myself, like, wow, this board would look a lot better if I just had a Mox Opal in play. Interesting. That is a really interesting thought that I had. Yo, wear and tear on my Urza Saga and my Pyxis. Why on my Pyxis? All right, well, I could have Thoughtseize them last turn, but I didn't. Now I need another land, a Mox Opal even. Oh, it's just another Urza Saga. Yeah, we take those. All right, Thoughtseize you. Don't want to get wear teared again. Yeah, I'm just gonna take the Ajani, leave you with Galvanic Discharge. Why is Galvanic Discharge still in your deck? And now what I can do is I have Darkslick Shores and Ensnaring Bridge just in hand. I can next turn discard whatever I draw off to the Underworld Cookbook, and then just have fully lowered Ensnaring Bridge. Oh, great. And the hero's just telling me the card that they drew. That's lovely. Thank you. I appreciate you. Honestly, if the card's good enough, I might not even discard it. Oh, it's just Mox Opal. Okay. So that means that I just get everything that I want, right? Darkslick Shores. Now, do I create the construct or do I lay out this Ensnaring Bridge? If I create the construct now, I would fall to 7 life because they would swing with everything. I don't know, like I kind of want to just put Ensnaring Bridge in play. Like maybe this is bad of me because I have one more uncontrolled draw here that I don't know what it's going to be before I get Urza Saga into Lantern of Insight going. Yeah, like Bridge is more mana efficient, kind of. I don't know. Like there's an argument to be made that you shouldn't be casting Bridge there, I think, though. All right, and they've just got nothing. That tells me, based off of the quality of play of my opponent, they kind of are just casting what they have and then attacking. So that tells me that they do literally just have nothing. I am going to create the construct, and then I'm going to grab Lantern of Insight, and I found a second Shredder. The Underworld Cookbook here, okay, so they just conceded the match. The Underworld Cookbook here makes me a lot less worried that I would only have a double Shredder, because really the reason that you need Pyxis in this matchup is to get around Flage, Titan of Fire's Fury. And Flage can only do so much damage per turn, you know? So with the Underworld Cookbook, I can just discard this Mox Opal. Next turn, I would cast Codex Shredder. I would pop the food. I would be at 13 life. And it kind of just wouldn't really matter if I mill a bunch of cards at that point, because the Cookbook's just gaining me so much life that I really just don't care if they cast like 6 Flages. But anyway, a nice, lovely, comfortable 2-0 win against Boros Energy. Let's go ahead and wrap up the league. So this is a 2-3 record with Lantern Control in this particular league. The question that I was wanting to ask with this list is, do I think that the white and green splash is worth it by playing stuff like Glimmervoid and Spire of Industry? I think the answer is no. I think I would rather just have the rock solid mana. That would involve taking the Spires and Glimmers out of the deck and basically just replacing them with Fetches and Shocks, which is what I was doing before. I could potentially see some number of something like a Gloomlake Verge. I don't think that's correct. We did see a little bit of the weakness of River of Tears. This River of Tears, it coming up, like, I think it came up once, but if I had played differently, if I had acknowledged the weakness of River of Tears instead of just kind of playing without thinking, then I think it would have been okay. So I'm not ready to just say River of Tears sucks. I don't think it does suck. I think that it needs to be played around, but I think it rewards you if you do manage it properly. That being said, Glimmervoid and Spire of Industry, especially Glimmervoid, it's just, I don't know. I would just rather have a blue-black dual land, and I would rather just cut the 2 of Portable Holes. I think that I need a little bit more practice with the Whir style of gameplay here. It's just, it's been a while since I've played with a list like this. I'm still trying to get my heuristics in place. I'm still figuring out what exact list I want to be playing. I see the power. I like the power. I like 4 Mox Opals, which is really weird to say because 4 Mox Opals in something like traditional or Nightlight Lantern is just so horrible. But 4 Mox Opals in a list like this, where you're just dumping artifacts out, it's nice. It's really nice. So I think I'm going to be replacing the Portable Holes and the Haywire Mites. Honestly, I might replace these with something like a Witching Well. And we're going to kind of just go from there. I like the 3 lanterns. Didn't really miss the 4th lantern, which is weird to say. So I think I'm getting close to what I would want a Whir list to look like. Not quite there yet, but this is why we play decks, right? Is so we can figure out what we want to do with them. This program is made possible by generous funding from these sponsors, and also by your view, like, and comment, the support of my wife and son, and by contributions to Fate Seal Magic from viewers like you. Thank you.